Hi, friends. I'm Dave Barkalow, pastor of Fort Walton Beach First United Methodist. Welcome to our Pastor's Study, our daily devotional to help us focus our mind on the things of God. Today is Labor Day. I hope that you have a great holiday and we're able to remember why we celebrate this day and that you stay safe as you celebrate. We're walking through the Gospel of Mark together, and we're in the middle of what they call the controversy stories. We talked about two of them last week, but for Mark chapter 2, verse 1 through Mark chapter 3, verse 6, there's a set of 5 stories of controversy where Jesus kind of comes into direct conflict with the religious leaders about different things. And it really sets up, Mark is setting up for us already, even in chapter 2, the conflict between Jesus and the religious leaders. This is going to be chapter 2, verses 18 through 20, where Jesus is questioned about fasting. Now, John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting, and people came to him and said, "Why do John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast?" Jesus said to them, "The wedding guests cannot fast while the bridegroom is with them, can they? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast on that day." You know, it's really interesting. We might think it seems kind of random that Jesus would all of a sudden be calling himself a bridegroom. But throughout the Old Testament, God refers to God's self as the groom or the bridegroom of the people of Israel. That the people of Israel are God's wife, and God is a bridegroom. So here we kind of see Jesus is going ahead and alluding. He's already kind of putting it out there that his relationship with God and with people is different than other people's. He is putting himself in the relationship, not as just a person of Israel, but as the bridegroom in that position of God. And while God is with us, while God's going on, doing the ministry, he says they don't need to fast. I'm right here. But when the bridegroom is taken away, they will need to. I think this is important. Fasting is, in most Christian circles, kind of a lost thing. We are not great at fasting. We are much better at feasting. But yet here Jesus says, when the bridegroom goes away, the people will fast. Now, I think there is a challenge here. There is a call. John Wesley would not ordain someone unless they fasted at least twice a week. Towards the end of his ministry, he relented and started ordaining, or not really, he didn't really ordain, but licensing people if they'd only fast once a week. But this is a spiritual practice that can be very fruitful for us. Now, fasting is denying the physical to emphasize the spiritual, to create time and space, both literally. When we don't eat, we are given extra time. We don't have to cook, we don't have to prepare, we don't have to sit down and eat, but it also creates something inside of ourselves. We become hungry, and every time our stomach rumbles, it reminds us to pray. So fasting creates time and space to concentrate on our relationship with God. So friend, I just ask you today, what are you doing to concentrate on your relationship with God? Do you see him as your bridegroom? Are you totally in love with him? Or do you take this discipline of fasting and use it? If not, maybe think about it, pray about it, and see if God might not be calling you to it. Remember, friends, I love you. Take care of yourself and shine the light of Christ.